Hello, welcome from the Irish Gypsy. I'm back again to do your December 2015 reading. I will again be using the Gilded Tarot deck, pulling 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, with an additional card as an overall theme or general feeling of the month. These are general readings, so they may not apply or resonate the same with everyone who watches. I suggest that you also check your rising and your moon sign as well. For those of you who would like an extension on this reading or a more personal reading, one-on-one, you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more detail on myself, the details of my contact information and the services I offer. I will be running holiday specials for the month of December from the 1st to the 31st. I will be offering a 30-minute reading for $25, a 60-minute reading for $50, and I also do a 3-question spread where you email me your 3 questions, and I will email you back the written version of that reading along with the accompanying picture for the card layout for your questions. And for those of you who have been watching and listening and subscribing and giving me all your feedback and comments, my appreciation and thanks go out to you. Thank you so very much. And thank you for those who have allowed me to read for you so far. It's been a real blessing meeting all of you. And I wish all of you a happy holidays, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And let's get started. This video is for Virgo for December 2015. Virgo, December 2015, my lovely maidens. Virgo, December 2015. This is the month of December. Hold for you. Kind of getting a feeling of almost a giddiness, a sense of illusion somehow. Let's see what the cards play out for you. Okay. For the first week, we have the 7 of Cups, followed by the 2 of Cups. Interesting. For the second week, we have the King of Cups, followed by the Empress. For the third week, we have the Magician, followed by the 4 of Pentacles. And for the fourth week, we have the Chariot, followed by the 7 of Pentacles. And as your overall theme or general feeling of the month, the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. Okay, Virgo, let's see what this month is about. Understanding, of course, that the timeline of the cards does not have a definitive beginning and ending. It's for the general month of December, but it could leak from November into January as well. So we begin with the 7 of Cups, followed by the 2 of Cups. Virgo, it looks like you're going to come into December at the end of November in a place where you have a lot going on in front of you. It feels like you have a lot of decisions, a lot of choices in front of you. Almost an air of fantasy and illusion around this card. The cups are a suit, the element of water. It's a suit that represents love, emotion, relationships, how we relate to others, things like that. Creativity. And I feel like in the month of December, and I got this feeling while I was shuffling for you, a sense of, it's almost a sense of distraction of there's a lot of things dancing around in your head. You see yourself as having a lot of different options or a lot of different choices of paths you can take, of things that you can do. However, it's attached to the 2 of Cups, which is, this is the third sign I've pulled the 2 of Cups for the month of December. The 2 of Cups is traditionally the soulmate card, the kindred spirit card. It represents the coming together and the union of 2 people, albeit in the early stages, the honeymoon stages, of 2 people who connect with each other on more than just a physical chemistry level. It's also 2 people who connect together as kindred spirits would in a spiritual and mental, cognitive sort of way, as well as romantic, dreamy, sexual, chemical attraction sort of thing. So paired with the 7 of Cups, it looks like perhaps, and also with the first 2 cups, 2 cards of the month, representing also the present, or immediate past. It looks like perhaps you've met someone that you think could be the one. It feels like you're kind of overcome almost with there's almost a soft sense of blurred illusion around this, that you're in that stages with someone where everything is perfect and it seems like everything's connecting and you have everything in common. The cautionary side to this card would be to be aware of um, letting the fantasy of what isn't completely, what might not be the real picture, interfere with the reality of what is. I'm not sure why I'm saying that. It's just a feeling I'm getting. It feels like you've met someone that's kind of thrown you over a loop, that you almost feel a little giddy about. You're feeling quite over the moon about this person. It's put you in a phase where you're maybe distracted. You're kind of walking through your days distracted, happy distracted, not really sure of what to do. You're seeing this person as you're seeing this person as the one. You're seeing this person as someone that you've connected to, someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That's how you're actually looking at this person. For those of you who haven't, that this doesn't apply for, I think that this is something that's going to be happening to you perhaps in the beginning of December, that you're going to meet someone that's going to kind of put you in this state of emotional, almost like an emotional rainbow of feelings. In the second week, we have the King of Cups, followed by the Empress card. This is a beautiful pairing to have, and I think it represents you and this other person, or perhaps how you're seeing yourself in relation and this other person in relationship with each other. The King of Cups is a man who, kings being more mature, reflective individuals, they've walked the path of experience, they've gained quite a bit of wisdom and insight. This is a person who, as it's the King of Cups, who is pretty grounded in his own emotions, who's a very sensitive, gentle individual, someone who is emotionally very loving and giving and nurturing, and paired with the Empress would be actually an excellent mate for the King of Cups, because she is almost the feminine counterpoint of him. She is very loving and nurturing and abundant and fertile. This could also represent, for some of you, this could also be someone that you're in a relationship with, where there's a strong thread of pregnancy in this coupling as well too. So perhaps if the Christmas month is bringing you a little more than just wrapped presents under the tree, perhaps you are going to find out that you're pregnant this month and you're going to become parents, either for the first time or again. But I think that this is, I think this person that you've met, and I have a feeling that it's a person that you've either met recently or you're meeting in the month of December, and that this is a person that you see as a really good match for you, although what's going on right now seems to be very distracting to you, as new love often can be when we're in that first initial honeymoon glow. Now, in the third week, we have the Magician, coupled with the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Magician is a card, it's a major arcana card along with the Empress. The Magician is somebody who is at the peak of his craft. As you can see, he's balancing or juggling the symbol from each of the suits. He's a person who has, through long perseverance and discipline and hard work and trial and error, has come to a point where he has gained the experience and the knowledge and the know-how and the tools and how to use the tools to basically create anything he decides to do. He's a master of his craft. This card strongly suggests that you have, whatever the situation is, that you have everything you need in which to order it the way that you want, in which to create the thing that you want to create. It's paired with the Four of Pentacles, which is an interesting card for it to be paired with. Pentacles, the element is earth. Pentacles is a suit that usually represents things in our tangible environment around us, typically money, finances, resource, wealth, property, assets. The Four of Pentacles is It shows a man who's hanging on very tightly to the four large pentacles he has. And this card represents hanging on very tightly, not wanting to share, being afraid to give out. Perhaps you feel in the month of December, maybe it's part of the holidays or something. Maybe you're feeling like if everything is left up to you, you're afraid to spend your money. Perhaps this is it represents a kind of a holding back, a withholding, and not wanting to share and not wanting to give out. And paired with the Magician, I'm actually getting a strong feeling from this reading, and I'm not really sure why. It's kind of a different message than I would normally get with these cards. But I'm kind of getting that the Magician is where you feel you are with this particular relationship, with this soulmate connection that you feel that you have. And I kind of feel like the Four of Pentacles is a piece of advice or a cautionary warning asking you to actually to hold back just a little bit, to not be in so much of a rush to charge headlong into um, making something out of this relationship. It feels like this relationship is too new that you want to charge ahead and make it be about kind of everything and all of your life and the rest of your life and everything like that. And you feel like you have everything within your power to do that, and you may, but I feel like you're being given a piece of advice and a piece of cautionary wisdom here to hold back just a little bit, to not be so to not be so quick to give everything you have in the very beginning. This could also play out for some of you in this relationship that perhaps it could be playing out the opposite, that it's asking you um, no, I'm gonna go with my original one. I kind of feel like it's asking you to take more control, to take more personal control, because you have everything that you need in order to be able to walk a balanced path through this, to hold back just a little bit, to not give quite so much so quickly in the beginning, because I have a feeling this relationship is new, or this is a relationship that's going to be starting very quickly. In the last week of the month, we have the Chariot card, which again is a card of kind of underscores the previous message. It's a card of movement, but a very rapid movement. It's the card of harnessing two opposite extremes and putting them together to create forward motion. It's a card of, it implies a fast movement, something speedy, something happening very quickly. And I keep thinking that I get the feeling that these are the feelings that the top cards for the weeks are where you're feeling in this week, and the advice is to not to stop, but just to slow down a little bit, to be a little smart about this and to reassess. Now, the Chariot is accompanied by the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card about assessment. It's a card about asking yourself if the end justifies the means. It is another Pentacle card, and it shows a woman. Perhaps this is a relationship that you're spending actually quite a bit of money on, or a person you're spending a lot of money on or investing in. The Seven of Pentacles shows a woman who is, it's harvest time. She's ready to harvest. She has her basket ready, although she hasn't put anything in it yet. There's a ladder up against the tree. She's ready to climb up and begin picking. But for the time being, she's looking at what has grown. She's looking to see, this is a card of assessment, of um, evaluating if the work that you have put into something is actually paying off with what is ready to be harvested. Have the seeds that you've sown and the care that you've put into this paid off? Are you getting back what you've put into it? This card is asking you to take a good look at whether it's worth it or not, and to be very practical and very grounded and very realistic about it. I think the Chariot is, things are moving very quickly and it's very exciting for you, but I think the strong advice that I'm getting through these cards is to slow down just a little bit and try to be a little more practical and a little more grounded about it. Remember, we started off the month with the Seven of Cups, which is a card about so many choices. There's such a feeling of giddiness that you're actually being distracted by more illusion than what is actually there. Now, the overall theme for the month, or the general feeling of the month, is the Queen of Swords. Swords are a card that represents uh, thoughts, ways of thinking, logic, mental projections, um, intellect, uh, thoughts. Really, they're. This is a mental card. The Swords is about how we think, thoughts. The Queen of Swords, in reverse, I've heard her referred to as a very cold, witchy, sort of unemotional person. But this card came up in the upright, and I think as the overall feeling of the month, I think that this is again echoing the advice message of this reading, which is to try and take on some of the characteristics and traits of the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a person who is incredibly well grounded. She's a queen. She's walked quite a bit of the path of life already. She has a very keen insight, and uh, she's incredibly intelligent. She's very intellectual. She's a person based on logic. She will think before she acts. Sometimes she can come across as kind of cold and unemotional, but she's a very logical person. She has a way of looking at a situation and cutting out the illusion of it, seeing it for what it really is, and making informed, grounded decisions based on the truth of the matter. She is all about speaking the truth. She is all about what is real and not about what is fantasy. And I think that this card is suggesting that you take on some of these traits in this month because it looks like you're in a place where you may be distracted by a lot of illusionary ideas and perhaps seeing things for something that they may not necessarily be. I think the advice is maybe even if it plays out quite well for you in the future, just to slow down a little bit and to um, to reassess things in a more realistic and a more grounded sort of way. The Queen of Swords could also be someone that someone that is in your life that whose advice you really value, and someone who maybe that can help keep you grounded. Maybe it's a best friend or a counselor of some sort, or um, someone that kind of keeps you grounded on this path. Could also represent no, I think I'll stick with that. I think though for the majority of you, it's asking you to take on the characteristics and the traits of this Queen of Swords. I think that the advice, it looks like you're coming into the month in kind of a glorious I'm in love sort of phase, or you've got some kind of new emotional thing going on, that you're that you're paired up with someone that seems to fit very well with you. Things seem to be quite perfect. You feel like you have everything at your fingertips. But for some reason, either you're being advised to hold back or to not give out quite so much in the beginning, or you're being asked to, maybe you guys are being a little too extravagant at the month of December. It is the holidays, and maybe it's asking you to be a little more grounded in how you spend your money, and in maybe take a second look at like what you're actually doing in the month of December, to be more grounded and to realize that you have the power to control how this actually plays out. I just think the message is that it's asking you to think a little more clearly, to be a little more realistic in how you're giving, what you're giving, and to be a little more balanced in that, and to try to slow down if things feel like they're going very fast. So Virgo, what an interesting reading for the month of December. If any of you feel like sharing what this is, if this resonates with you, please feel free to do so. I hope you got something from this reading. Again, if you'd like a personal reading, you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that will give you my contact information. I look forward to seeing how the rest of the story goes next month, January, the month of, well, the new year, 2016. Um, I hope that you have a very happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to you. And as always, I wish you joy, blessings, and a happy life.